Real Madrid's spectacular Zidane loop. World opinion was stunned when Zidane made his Real Madrid debut at a ceremony for which sponsors had to pay. Zizou has not kicked a ball for the club, President Pérez has collected money. Advertisement. Below is an excerpt from the biography of legendary player Zinedine Zidane by the authors Patrick Fort and Jean-Philippe. The book titled Zidane was revised and updated in 2018. Football must also follow the market economy. The winter of 2000 passed bleakly for Zidane. Juventus were eliminated in the group stage of the Champions League 2000/01. Joining the Torino team in the summer of 1996, Zidane lost two consecutive finals of this tournament in 1997 and 1998. The next season, the Old Lady of Turin only reached the round of 16. The next season again 1999/00, Juve did not even attend. For the player who was the soul of the French national team that won the 1998 World Cup and the 2000 European Cup, being evaded by the Champions League trophy was uncomfortable. Zizou is also tired of Serie A and rough defenders. He thought of other experiences. About France? It's a low-quality tournament. Another Italian club? That would be a betrayal to Juve. Spain or England? Spain is the ideal destination for him, both as an athlete and as a person. La Liga with a less rigid style of play than in Italy, the game is much more developed than the Premier League. Spain will allow his wife Veronique the chance to reconnect with her roots. But nothing is easy. The contract of Zizou does not allow a transfer and Juve will not facilitate his departure. But Florentino Pérez, president of Real Madrid, is not dreaming. He thought carefully, planning to snatch Zidane from Juve. Pérez is well aware that anything is possible in football. As president of the largest construction group ACS in Spain, Mr. Pérez believes all he needs to do is apply the principles of the market economy to the conservative world of football. Know how to seize opportunities, don't hesitate to invest in potential gains, and most importantly, don't take everything for granted. In the construction industry, the contract belongs to the best bidder. Why is football different? Luis Figo is living proof. To be elected president of Real Madrid in 2000, Mr. Pérez promised during his campaign to get the Portuguese star out of Barcelona, Real's hated rivals. Football doesn't work like that. Pérez knows nothing about the sport, mocked his rival, Lorenzo Sanz, Real's president at the time. What Sanz thought was a brag turned out to be a great move. Pérez was careful not to reveal his methods nor the secret contract he made with Figo's agent, whom he paid in exchange for a firm guarantee that Figo would sign for Real. With an almost unbelievable salary, €6 million a year, of course if Pérez is elected president. The agent believes he gets a risk-free check, as Pérez is far behind Sanz in the race for the presidency. But he was wrong. Pérez was elected with the guise of Figo and the promise that every year a star will come to Real Madrid. Mr. Pérez's perfect plan of action. While ensuring the budgetary viability of his plan, in September 2000, Mr. Pérez began a lengthy process of sabotage of which even Zidane knew nothing. He inquired about player contracts, made financial projections based on expected revenue when Zizou arrived and studied the legal details of the transfer. In May 2001, several leaks, presumably caused by Mr. Pérez himself, shook the football world. Zidane is about to sign for Real. Juve made a refusal. Real too, although from behind the scenes continues to fan rumors. Italian fans, and especially Juve directors, were a bit annoyed, not to mention nervous when Real initially approached officially just to ask about the transfer price. Zizou is not for sale, was the reply from Turin. But doubt was installed in their mind. A dialogue between two parties that did not listen to each other continued for several weeks. Real's chance to win Zidane is not appreciated. Why didn't Zidane go to Real, was the headline in L'Équipe, which is usually very well informed about transfers and has a well-established network in Turin. But the newspaper got it wrong. Very wrong. They are simply continuing the atmosphere at Juve, which does not give any credence to Riddle's ambitions. But Perez, a newbie who was underestimated by Sans, L'Équipe, and Juve, was one step ahead. Perez completed all personal terms with Zizou. "I want to play in Spain," Zizou declared immediately. His agent, Alain Migliaccio, is in daily contact with Juve directors, increasing the pressure. The situation is no longer reversible. Between Zizou and Juve now there is a gaping hole. Directors Luciano Magai and Roberto Bettiga began to understand they were losing. Now they want Real to pay dearly. Didn't they pay €62 million for Luis Figo? Zidane is better and therefore more expensive, the Italian reasoned. "If we sell Zidane, we'll have to give the fans a decent team," was one comment heard behind the scenes. The Czech player, Pavel Nedved, was in their sights, several strikers and defenders as well. At first, Zizou was reticent, allowing clubs to negotiate. On June 23, his 29th birthday, he broke the silence, clearly answering the question of La Repubblica: "If it were up to me, I would be at Real Madrid." On July 7, negotiations ended. Kept secret by the two clubs, the fee ranges from €73 to €76 million, depending on the method of calculation. It was eventually rounded up to €75 million. It was the most expensive transfer in football history until then. Zizou left, after all, leaving only a Juve seemingly powerless to regain the Serie A championship, let alone the Champions League. "Zidane is more entertaining than useful," says Johnny Agnelli. The honorary chairman of Fiat and the boss of Juve, a keen businessman, could be delighted with a profitable transfer. On the afternoon of July 8, 2001, after a vacation with his family on the west coast of the United States, Zidane arrived in Madrid, at an airbase in the suburbs of Torrejon, on a private plane secretly chartered by Real, guaranteed for privacy and quiet. Jorge Valdano, general manager of Real, welcomed him and took him to a hotel near the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium, with a different name. The next day, July 9, both the media and world opinion were stunned when Zidane made his debut at Real Madrid at a ceremony for which sponsors had to pay. Zizou has not kicked a ball for Real, Perez has already collected the money. Zizou mania begins. "I was surprised by the numbers. I do not deserve. There's no player in the world who deserves it, but that's the way things are," Zizou said. He analyzed Juve's strategy. "At the age of 29, it was Juve's last chance to get a good price for my transfer. Then it's hard to sell me at that price. And they can use the money to rebuild the squad.